All right, let's talk about, well, it's going to be about the military, but it's about the communist purge here for a couple moments. Remember this. Remember, as we just talked about in the opening, these people are out to destroy, and they will destroy everything if they can. And they will most definitely destroy wherever they are. That's just how it works. If you bring a communist into your church will be destroyed by it. If you're bringing it into your business will be destroyed by it, because they will eat everything in front of them. They're like animals, really. That's really how you can really think about communists. And now let's talk about our military, you see. Because don't think for 1 second they dropped the communist uniform when they put on the uniform of the United States of America. Not at all. They view their role everywhere, wherever they are. They view their role as fighting for the revolution. And don't think that changed when Donald Trump took over. And my point for this little talk we're about to have is that Pete Hegseth, who's doing a very good job, he will need all 4 years, and he will need to be vicious. Remember when J.D. Vance traveled to Greenland and said this?
What we think is going to happen is that the Greenlanders are going to choose through self-determination to become independent of Denmark, and then we're going to have conversations with the people of Greenland from there. So I think that talking about anything too far in the future is way too premature. We do not think that military force is ever going to be necessary. We think this makes sense. And because we think the people of Greenland are rational and good, we think we're going to be able to cut a deal, Donald Trump style, to ensure the security of this territory, but also the United States of America.
Okay. You may disagree with that, but it's certainly nothing radical or insane. Yeah, the Space Force commander on the ground, Susanna Myers. This is the email she sent out. Now remember, these people are all above her in the chain of command. Do you think Susanna Myers set aside her communism because she put on the uniform and achieved the rank of colonel? Quote, I do not presume to understand the current politics, but what I do know is the concerns of the U.S. administration discussed by Vice President Vance on Friday are not reflective of space base. She just flat out came out and said, I don't care what J.D. Vance said. That's not my agenda. That's not what we believe here. They can't help themselves. Susanna Chatfield, Vice Admiral, that's a big boy position in the United States Navy. She had to be purged last week. She used to give speeches like this.
And we've also heard about the meaningful participation of women in the security and defense sectors. We have learned about the importance of gender-inclusive approaches. We will be left with a professional military ready to get after the needs of the nation, with highly talented, diverse and capable people before us, beside us, and behind us. And I would say that this is exactly what the Women, Peace, and Security agenda seeks to achieve.
My point in this is not that we got a couple out. My point is American communists have been embedding these little tumors inside of our government at every level, including the military, for years. Barack Obama is really the one who turned this into overdrive. So when you think about that, Barack Obama, 2008 to 2016, then we get a little brief 4-year reprieve. Donald Trump didn't remove them the first time. Then Joe Biden came in, did this again in overdrive. We now have 12 years of focused communist effort, putting these little cancers in every single nook and cranny. We have so much work to do. Remember Linda Fagan?
We currently have nearly 40% women enrolled at the Coast Guard Academy. I'm really excited about the talent and the diversity that I see coming through the Academy. My daughter is in the Coast Guard as a lieutenant, and there is just nothing but opportunity for her and all of the men and women that have joined the service. I'm really excited about the future as we look ahead.
There's a lot of Fagans we have to get rid of. Let's hope we're up to the task. So I want to talk about something that is good, right? There's always heavy stuff. There's always a ton of work to do, but just really quickly. You remember the whole Signal chat leak thing it wasn't our finest hour. Okay, we woke up one day and we found out that a scumbag communist named Jeffrey Goldberg at the Atlantic was getting our national security texts. Somehow, someone had added him on. Okay, it was a bad moment. It was a bad moment, all right? But it did produce something good. From that moment, the Pentagon, Pete Hegseth, his people, they knew they had a problem. They knew they had a leak. And let me just explain this briefly. There are leaks everywhere in this government. There is this really, really disgusting relationship at the highest levels of power between communists in the military, in the FBI, CIA, NSA, between communists in these organizations and members of the American media. Lots of these guys have a media person they go to. Remember a while ago when Tucker Carlson said, hey, we got confirmation the NSA is spying on my emails? And then we woke up one morning and we were reading Tucker Carlson's emails because the NSA had leaked them to the American media. That's how it works, right? Well, not one, not two, but now 3 of these alleged leakers have been escorted out of the Pentagon. I know this sounds small, but we talk all the time. I talk all the time to you about the cancers, the tumors we have, and how we have to cut them out, and how we have to cut deep, and how we have to remove this, and how we have to remove that, and how we have... Well, this is what cutting looks like. Is it enough? Of course not. Of course not. We have legions of these people to go, legions of them. But we have to begin at the beginning. And right now, the Trump administration knows beyond a shadow of a doubt they have traitors throughout the administration. They're all over the Pentagon. They're all over CIA, FBI, NSA, all these groups. And you have to find them and you have to get them out or they will destroy your presidency. But that's not just me saying it. It's not just you thinking it. The Trump administration knows it and they're doing something about it, and that should make us feel good. Is everything fixed? Of course not. But they're doing something good and we're marching in the right direction, and we should feel good about that. All right? That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted you to feel good about that. All right. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.